Across the United States, streets have filled with chants, banners, and a message echoing through every major city. No Kings, what started as a small, decentralized movement online, has exploded into one of the largest national protests in recent years. From New York to Los Angeles, from Chicago to Dallas, thousands have gathered in unison to express frustration, anger, and a collective demand for change. The No Kings movement began as a social call against political overreach and growing inequality, with organizers insisting that no leader, politician, or billionaire should hold unchecked power over the people. What makes this protest so striking isn't just its scale, it's the diversity of voices behind it. Young and old, left and right, workers and students, they've all found common ground in one powerful sentiment, that democracy must stay in the hands of the people. In Washington, D.C., massive crowds lined the National Mall carrying handmade signs reading "Power to the People." No kings in a democracy, and our voices matter. Protesters demanded greater transparency from elected officials, accountability for corruption, and protection of democratic values they say are under threat. Police presence was heavy, but the demonstrations remained largely peaceful, filled with music, chants, and moments of unity. What began as an online trend, #NoKings, quickly turned into a nationwide movement. Within just a few days, social media platforms like TikTok, X formerly Twitter, and Instagram were flooded with live videos of protests erupting in cities like Atlanta, Portland, Seattle, and Miami. Influencers, activists, and even celebrities joined the conversation, amplifying the movement's message to millions around the globe. The No Kings slogan resonates with a deeper meaning. It is not just about politics, but about a system where power feels increasingly out of reach for everyday people. Protesters are calling out what they describe as modern monarchy, referring to the growing influence of wealth and power concentrated among a few elite figures in government, media, and corporations. Analysts say this movement reflects a generational shift. Younger Americans, raised in the age of social media and rapid inequality, are less willing to accept political stagnation and more eager to challenge traditional systems of authority. College campuses have become centers of mobilization, with students organizing marches, teach-ins, and creative demonstrations calling for systemic reform. The energy of the No Kings protests recalls echoes of past movements, from the Occupy Wall Street protests of the early 2010s to the civil rights demonstrations of the 1960s, but unlike those, this wave has no clear leader or central organization. It is a decentralized movement powered by social media and the shared conviction that collective voices can still drive real change. Law enforcement and local governments have been preparing for days as cities brace for more protests. While some officials have expressed support for peaceful demonstrations, others have warned about maintaining public order, setting curfews in certain areas. The images of unity, thousands of people holding candles, waving flags, and chanting under city lights, have already gone viral, marking a defining moment in modern U.S. protest history. Political reactions have been swift. Some leaders have praised the demonstrations as a healthy sign of democracy in action, while others have criticized them as chaotic and divisive. Yet for many Americans watching from home, the message feels clear. People are no longer willing to stay silent about systems they believe have failed them. Economically, experts predict short-term disruptions as protests have blocked major traffic routes, business districts, and even government buildings in some areas. However, the long-term implications may go far beyond economics. The movement's push for systemic accountability and equality could shape the political conversation for years to come, possibly influencing upcoming elections, policy debates, and even how Americans define freedom and representation. From small towns to massive urban centers, the No Kings protests have brought people together in ways rarely seen in modern America. Teachers, nurses, construction workers, tech employees, people from all walks of life are marching side by side, holding the same message: power should belong to the people, not the powerful. As the movement continues to grow, one thing is certain: this is more than a protest, it's a statement. A statement that millions of Americans are tired of feeling unheard. A statement that democracy, as imperfect as it may be, is still worth fighting for. The No Kings movement has become a mirror reflecting the nation's struggle with inequality, freedom, and fairness. Whether it leads to real reform or simply becomes another moment in history remains to be seen. But one thing is undeniable: it has sparked a national conversation that can no longer be ignored. As night falls across the country, the chants continue: no kings, no masters, just us.